Okay, so in this session, first we'll have an overview of tax setup, and then what topics we are going to cover as part of the tax process in upcoming sessions are tax steps, set up company federal tax ID, set up company excuse me, federal taxes, set up state taxes, set up local city taxes, and then after setting up the taxes, tax selections, or you can also say enter specific tax selections, workers, and wage to data mapping, wage to document generation, and also specific group of employees on certain taxes with the help of K component groups. Okay, so today we're going to have an overview session of what is this each task will do. Later, from tomorrow I'm working from home, so on time we will start our configurations. Okay, before moving on to this also, let's discuss a few things on taxes. What as a payroll consultant, so what is our role in the tax setups? Who is actually authorized to configure the tax setups? First thing, for each company, there will be a tax consultant group. Okay. So the tax configuration needs to be done by the tax consultant groups. So what is our role here? We have to help the customer what data they need in order to update the tax setups in Workday application, and also help on coordinating the taxation process. Okay. So before that, few things. So in US, we have different types of taxes. Federal, state, and also local, or sometimes additional taxes as well. What is federal taxes? Who owned and governed? Federal taxes, which includes OASDI,
What does that stand for again? Sorry.
I'm going to explain, man. OASDI and Medicare tax. What is OASDI? Old age savings deposit linked insurance. Now, does it mean I am paying federal tax? So if I am sick at old age, the federal government is going to help me to claim this amount? The answer is no. This is for welfare of the citizens of the country. So whatever you are paying this amount for old age savings deposit insurance and also for Medicare tax, this is the federal tax. This tax needs to be paid by both employer and employees.
Both of those Isn't it both of those?
Sorry,
They both need to do that. Both. The
what?
OASDI and the Medicare tax are paid by, both of those taxes are paid by both parties.
Right. Both employer and employee need to be paid certain percentages. It's somewhere around 1.4 to 4. Actually, the tax bulletins, I'm also unaware. Apologies, because these rates will keep on changing. Okay, tax consultant. That's why we need tax consultant who has the tax data on their fingertips. But here, just a overview. What is our role? Okay, so federal taxes are nothing but OSD and Medicare taxes, and this has to be paid by both the employer and employee to the federal government. Okay, to the federal government. And what happens if there is a change in the tax slab? Sometimes, maybe every year, every 5 years, 3 years, the taxes might be change. It might be 1.4%, could be in the next year it might be 2.4%, or might be every year 1% might be increasing, whatever. So here, what is our role? Whenever the federal government is changing the taxations, what is the payroll consultant role here? The payroll consultant role is null. Workday payroll consultant role, at least null. What does that mean? Any taxes, federal, state, local, or even additional. If any taxes, okay, uh, any tax percentage has been changed by a federal tax, federal government, or state government. Workday will release a notes. Workday will release a notes to the all their customers, saying that hey, so and so date, excuse me, so and so date, the federal tax has been revised. So going forward, XYZ is the percentage is going to be calculated on the gross. Okay, now the percentage is going to be changed. Do we need to do any changes in the workday? No, you cannot, because the tax tables, what are Workday is maintaining, you cannot access nor view. We don't have access to view the tax tax tables. Okay, it's owned by Workday. Owned by Workday. So if there is any changes
Is it
coming in Workday, yeah,
is it Workday or have they outsourced that to another tax vendor?
good one. So Workday has the ability to calculate taxes now. If you take other ERPs, few ERPs, they will take help from BSA. Example, if you see
Yeah.
SAP, so SAP is you can configure gross and net, but coming to the tax calculation, they need a vendor called BSI. Okay, they'll run an interface. Of course, they'll run the payroll. Automatically, interface will be run. It's gonna hit the BSI and calculate the taxes as of that day and bring the details back to the SAP. But in Workday, we have Workday is managing and maintain the tax updates. So you don't need any vendor. We don't need any vendor here for further calculating the taxes.
Interesting. That's very interesting. So they do it themselves.
Oh, yes, right. Workday has capability to calculate the taxes. Okay, we don't need any vendor here. That's why we also can generate a ways to document. Okay, that's what we'll cover. What I'm trying to say, if there is any change in the tax percentages, we are not authorized to view, edit any tax related data. Workday will update the percentages and they will inform us so and so day I'm gonna update so and so day I'm gonna update so and so day Workday is going to update these changes in the sandbox preview tenant. So please proceed for testing. Let us know if you guys have any concern on so date. In production, tentatively or completely, we are going to deploy this new percentage on so day. Workday will clearly indicate those statements. What is our job? Our job is just to run a payroll to ensure the new tax percentage is coming into the payslip and calculating accurately or not. That's all. Let me explain one example. So, Melissa ma'am, question to you. So, what is the current 2022 the 401k maximum upper limit? Any idea, visibility? No. 401k. What I'm saying here, if you can see an example. These are the limits, okay. Any employee should not contribute more than certain amount. That value will maintain here. IRS annual contribution limit. Now see here, from 2009 till 2022, IRS is keep increasing these percentages. IRS is keep increasing these percentages. Percentage in the sense, the maximum upper limit an employee can contribute for 401k contribution. In the year of 2021, the maximum employee can contribute 58,000 US dollars per annum. In 2022, the maximum contribution has been increased to 61,000 US dollars. Who is deciding these numbers? These numbers are decided by the federal IRS, Internal Revenue Services. So IRS will decide these numbers. Similarly, IRS will decide the tax percentages. So something like this, Workday will create a table and we don't have any option to edit or modify. Why? This is Workday own. Whenever whatever the year the tax percentage are calculating, Workday will add one more row and they'll include the new percentages. Okay, so very similar to this. You can also see the IRS related Jira IDs. So like this, Workday will create a Jira ID. If you would like to track when this change has been coming in, etc., you can select this. For example, if it's a link, it will take to the IRS site. So like this, IRS will release a note, press note, okay, something like this. So that note will be available. Workday will copy and paste it for your reference. What I'm trying to say, the percentages has to be decided by the IRS, federal government. Let's say, to make it simple, federal government, they're responsible to set these tax percentages. Whenever the percentages, they're releasing the new percentages, Workday will keep update the percentages, federal, state, local. We don't have any control to modify the percentages. Ma'am, why I'm saying and stretching this one is, if you see in our SAP application, we have certain tables, A to G. So we have an option whenever Workday releasing, we will do a patchwork. But here, no, we don't have any option nor security to edit and modify. Okay, please remember that point. Okay, then state tax. What include in the state tax? Residence tax and work tax. Based on the state the employees are working, the tax will be calculated. In California, the tax might be different. In Colorado, the state tax might be different. In Texas, the state tax may be 0. In Pennsylvania, the state tax might be different. The state taxes are not uniform in all the states. The state taxes, local or city taxes are different for each state. Okay, so state has authority whenever they would like to change the taxes, they have a right to change the tax. Okay, they have the right to change the tax after taking approval from IRS. But IRS, if there is any federal tax needs to be changed, the decision has to be made by IRS. If any state tax is going to be changed, the percentage for residence tax, work tax, the decision has to be made by each state. So each state is independent here. Independent in the decision making. There's no dependency. Not like all 20 states or 28 states or 24 states has to come onto 1%. No, it will be different. Okay. Similarly, whenever the state tax has been changed, Workday will release Workday will release a notes in the community, and they will also send out an email to all their payroll customers and other customers, and inform them, hey, so on so date we'll release this fix, we'll release the new tax percentages in the sandbox preview template. So please calculate, and in production on so day we will release this new percentage. Same process. Okay, then local or city tax. If any employee working in tier 1 cities, like let's say in California, San Francisco, Los Angeles, these are called tier 1 cities. There might be city tax needs to be paid. Similarly, if you take Illinois, if any employee works in Chicago, the employee needs to pay local or city tax. Okay, for tier 1 cities, there might be some additional tax. Similar, an employee working in New York State and New York, there might be the employee might require to pay local city tax. Few of my friends who is working in the US, they prefer to work in counties. The reason is they can save something from the city tax. There is no city tax on that because they're working from counties. Okay, they can save this at least, but state tax needs to be paid. Again, additional taxes. If you see Pennsylvania and California, they have their more additional taxes. Okay, in the form of military service, in the name of disability, etc. They have some additional taxes if you work in particular states. Okay, so any questions on this part of overview?